Hello lovelies, welcome back. In today's video we are going to be learning how to make this simple pencil skirt. It's beginner friendly. If this is what you love to learn, keep on watching. When you find it helpful, like and leave a comment. So guys, my October online class is here and it's strictly on corset. Corset is something that is not going away anytime soon. If you're still struggling with it, here is a class for you. So this class is going to be taking place on Telegram and the date is going to be October 19, which is next month, and the 3-style corset is going for 15,000 naira at a very giveaway price. This is like giveaway, all right? So I'm doing everything together. It's actually 3-in-1 as at a 15,000 naira price rate. So to register for this class, reach out to the phone number currently displaying on the screen. Just send a message on WhatsApp and then you will be giving access or whatever details that you need for this class. Let's get started. So for material, I'm going to be working with this akara. Is actually about 1.5 yards, and then for lining, this is line I'm going to be working with. For styling, we are going to be needing fringe. All right, so I work with roughly 3 yards of fringe. So we are making just regular pencil skirt. So mark out your starting line, and that is going to be your waistline. As you can see, this is going to be the front and then this is going to be the back. So when you're done, mark out about 1.5 inch from the center back. We are going to take this as our zipper allowance later on. So what you're going to do is to come down by your hip line. So I'm coming down by 9 inches. This is what I use as my waist to hip length. Then from my waistline, I'm going to come down by 24 inches, which is my waist to knee length. So for my full length, I'm going to come down by extra 4 inch from my knee line. So this is going to be my full length. So my waist to knee is 24 inches. Then I added extra 4 inches, so that means in total length I work with 28 inches. All right, so we are going to come over to the waistline, go in by your waist circumference, divide by 4, then add extra 1.5 inch as your dart intake, then come over to your hip line, go in by your hip circumference, divide by 4, then add just 1 inch for your side seam allowance. So I'm going to connect from this point to my waistline plus that 1.5 inch as my dart intake. All right, so I'm going to add my side seam allowance at the waistline, then connect it like so. Then I'm going to come over to my knee line, take off 1.5 inch from whatever I marked on my hip line, and then I'm going to mark it and then add my seam allowance. So I'm going to connect and then slant it to the full length, then do the same thing with the 1 inch allowance and then slant it as well. Then I'm going to come over to my waistline. I will go in by my nipple to nipple, divide by 2, then I will mark down 5 inches, then fold in 1.5 inch into 2, then mark on both sides of the waistline and then create my waist dart. So from my waistline, I'm going to come down by, at this point I actually mark 1 inch, but I'm going to come down by 1/2 inch. I reduce this to 1/2 inch. I don't really like using 1 inch, so just come down by 1/2 inch or 1 inch, then slant it in. Then from that point, also go ahead and add your allowance. That is going to be for your band. All right, I didn't really take out band from my skirt because I want extra inches for the band. So I'm going to mark my waist circumference plus 1.5 inch on the waistline and then do the same thing on the hip line. My hip circumference divided by 4 plus my side seam allowance. All right, and then I'm going to connect like so. Then on my knee line as well, I'll mark whatever I mark on my hip line minus 1.5 inch. So I'm going to be marking 8.5 inch. I will add my side seam allowance and then I'll connect like so, and then do the same thing with the allowance as well. So after doing that, I'm going to come over, go in by my nipple to nipple, divide by 2, then come down by 6 inches. So for the back dart length, I'm working with 6 inches. I will align it by 4 inches and then create my dart line, and then I'm going to mark down 0.7 on both sides. That is 1.5 inch divided by 2. All right, so after doing that, I'm going to go in on my waistline by 1/2 inch, and then I'll connect it back to my hip line, then go ahead and add 1 inch as my seam allowance. That is my zipper allowance, and then I'll cut out. So this is it for both front and back piece. I'm going to go ahead and cut out my fabric. So this is it. I already cut out. I cut out the main piece and the lining as well. And then this is this. I cut out the main piece and the lining. Remember, the center front is always on fold. All right. So what we are going to do now is we are going to go ahead and then sew off the dart on the main piece and the lining. So this is it. I already sewed off my dart, as you can see. So I'm going to set the rest of the piece aside, and then the center front, what I'm going to do is to cut out a few inches of net. So you can work with chantilly if you have that. So I'm going to go over to my machine, and then I'm going to sew this round, and then I'll bring it back. All right, so this is it after doing that. So with my fringe, I cut out about 8 inches length. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and then design it. So just watch what I'm doing and then repeat the same thing. Note that the length of what I'm working with is roughly 8 inches. So go over to your machine and then sew on it round. All right, so this is it. After doing that, I already stitched, as you can see. So what we are going to do is to trim. So we are going to trim it, all right, to give it a better look. You can see it's actually looking somehow now. So just watch how I'm going to trim. You are not going to trim straight, all right? So just watch how I'm going to trim it so that you can repeat the same thing as well. When you are done, bring in the side back, all right, place it right side facing the right side, then go ahead and join. Do the same thing with the lining. So this is it. After doing that, put the main piece and the lining. So for the lining, I'm going to reduce the length of the lining by 1.5 inch. When you're done, place it right side facing the right side, and then you are going to sew round, all right, and then turn it out from the side, losing a few inches from the side, and then turn it out at that point. So this is it after doing that, all right. So this is what I have here. This is the point I turned out from. So what we are going to do now is to cut that band. So this is my band, and it's of about 4 inches width, and then I fold in half inch, and then I fold into 2. So I'm going to, all you need to do now is to fix your band, and then that will be all for this class. So if you find this video helpful, please like, comment and share. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye.